welcome back for another episode of Let's Get Spooky. I'm Vamp.
I'm AJ.
And I'm Ashley.
And today we are talking about Halloween. We've talked about Halloween a lot, but it is more relevant because it is close to Halloween time.
Yeah. I mean, Halloween's kind of a lifestyle for us.
It is.
But when the event actually happens, it's like
important.
big.
And this is more appropriate for like everyone else in the world that doesn't get that we're weirdos and we like Halloween all the time. So this is for like the normal people that are like, we talk about Halloween in the month of October, whereas we live it all year round. So we're going to start off with a little bit of Halloween history and then get
historian Bill Nye, the Ashley Frankenstein.
lady.
Yeah, because I like to research my history.
You always come in with the facts. So you're going to come in with the facts.
If I was ever another thing and I had no creative expertise, I'd be a lawyer and I'd be like, here's the facts.
Listen to
I'd
me.
smack a notebook down me.
With a big thick book with
thick-
lots of
thick
words
boy.
in it.
throw the book at him.
They'd call me Thick Boy Book Bill. And he'd
Ashley.
Two
bust
C's.
it. But first, we always like to start with a little history because we're all
We're sophisticated.
We're sophisticated. We have a déclassé era by ourselves where we go on YouTube and we're like, wow, let's learn from these 7-minute videos, and that's exactly what I did.
And also, we're about informing the people, so we're gonna give you some information for your knowledge bank.
Started from the bottom. We got to start at the bottom. Now we're here. Like, how did we get here? With our hats and shit.
I don't know. Can you tell us where we began?
Do you want me to sing? You want me to say it?
You can sing it if you want. I feel like that's a lot of pressure,
I don't
but
want to. I'm not.
you don't
I'm
have
not your
to.
puppet. Jesus Christ. So basically, it originated Halloween. All of the traditions and sorts. They originally, like 2,000 years ago, that's when it started springing up from Celtic. Origination.
Can you imagine Halloween 2,000 years ago? Like, I can't even remember
It'd
2
be
weeks
lit.
ago.
They'd probably like rub twigs together and be like, ooh, like let's have a dance with Satan. Like they would just
I mean, that would be great.
There's no
Yeah.
music, there's no candy. Like what are they gonna do? So we're whatever.
Yeah, they're just giving each other like sticks.
But at the core of like
I like how you said, let's rub 2 sticks together.
What the
like,
fuck are they gonna do?
light a fire.
They don't have marshmallows.
That's true. It's true. It's a long
but
time ago.
But they were having bonfires, so that's like what I'm getting at. It's like they had like these like ceremonies and these bonfires where they would like, have rituals, and they would burn crops and they would burn animals, unfortunately, and
Sacrifice the
plot twist,
animals.
sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
this is very different than it is
would,
now.
Be at the end of the summer, and it would mark the beginning of the cold winter, which we all like, including me. They believe that on the night before the new year, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead were like kind of blended together. And they're like, that's why like ghosts are so prominent. Even
The veil is
Even
thinner.
now, like we're like, ooh, Halloween ghosts, but like that dated years back where they were like literally heavily integrated with like talking to the dead and like, the other world. And so like on October 31st, it was believed that ghosts of the dead returned to Earth, which is kind of cool. It's like probably those same people who were like, ooh, Jesus is gonna return. It's like, well, Jesus ain't coming back yet, but like all these other guys
It's been a while. He hasn't showed
let's have
up.
a party with them.
Yeah.
Fuck it. In the meantime, so like costumes were worn, fortunes were told. It was like this very heavy set tradition, and that was obviously a very long time ago. And then immigrants were coming to America in the early 1900s, and that actually brought the traditions more to like Maryland and the southern states. So thankfully, thank you, immigrants, because we wouldn't really have a lot of Halloween tradition if it wasn't for
We'd be
them.
rubbing sticks together, and it would be really not very fun.
I don't even know what
Happy
we probably
Halloween.
I don't know what we'd be doing, but like they were the ones who kind of started it. They were like, "Hey guys, this is Liddy Titty." So and they first started.
They were very old,
They're
and they
for-
still said
yeah.
Liddy Titty.
Liddy Titty. Yes. But anyways,
I can picture it.
They had these things called play parties where neighbors would tell stories about the dead. So this is that continuation of like, let's talk about dead people, yada yada yada. Like other worlds collide. Like it's probably a Creed song, but I don't know. I haven't tapped into it in the past month. Don't judge me. So then by the 19th century, I already said all that. Basically, trick-or-treating started popping because a lot of people were basically just asking for food and money. They're like, knock, knock, I'm poor. Give me something good to eat. It wasn't necessarily candy because like candy is such a luxury back then.
Yeah.
Like you weren't just giving that away.
And also candy, like what we imagine right now is like the Snickers and the Reese's. Like
Snickers,
it wasn't.
Like, what the
It wasn't
fuck?
prepackaged candy. It was like
No.
something someone had to make, and it was usually like a pastry or a treat or a baked good. So it's very different than it is now. Now if you knocked on someone's door and they're like, "Here, have this pastry," you'd be like, "You're trying to poison me."
Yeah,
exactly.
Which we'll get to that later.
But it wasn't until like the 1920s and 30s that like parties started happening. So that was when it flourished in America to like have the Halloween kind of mentality. It wasn't until the 50s where they were like, "This is Halloween," no pun intended. Sorry,
This
Jack.
is Halloween.
But it's like that's when aesthetically it really flourished, but because before it was just more like about like ritualistic things, and
Right.
then now it was like very like kitschy, like ghosts and jack-o'-lanterns.
Yeah, it was like the seasonal change. It
Yeah.
actually had
Yeah.
like a purpose, and then it evolved slowly
Yeah.
into what we do now, where we dress up and
Yeah.
ask for candy. It's
But
very different.
What was interesting is there was a few traditions that didn't come to play now. Like there was some that were like, well, that's stupid. There was like Halloween also had a heavy set, integration with matchmaking and women. So there was this
That's
whole.
what a lot of my stories are.
I won't explain fully. Did you do the nut story?
The chestnuts on a fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll save that for you.
Yeah.
All I can say is they
The
love their
nut
nuts.
story?
They had some nut.
There's some weird stuff. Like I didn't know that either, but I was there's a lot.
Now I look at nuts and I'm like, is that gonna pop for me or is that gonna burn?
But
I'll let you talk about
specifically
that.
these weird things they did on Halloween night, right? For
it
this
was
thing
like
to
around
work.
the Halloween time. It was like, fortune tellers and stuff, and it's just something that we'd look at now and be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
But
like that doesn't make any
back then,
sense.
I would believe in it. I'd be
Yeah.
like, well, it's Halloween, crack the nuts, bitches. I don't know.
So I kind of like for the history part, there was like when you were mentioning how the poor would basically go to the wealthy people's houses and they would ask for food and stuff. And there was a thing that they did, and it was called souling, I think it was what it was called. So they would basically ask for treats and food and things in exchange for prayers. So what the poor would do is the wealthy would give them these things. You're like,
Someone told me I
say a
needed
little
Jesus
prayer
last week, so I'm just going with it. I'm like, okay.
So in exchange for getting these things, they would say a prayer for the family members of the wealthy that had passed away. Mm-hmm. And then that tradition essentially kind of went away. And then in Scotland and Ireland, young people took part in a tradition called guising, basically like disguising, meaning that they wore costumes. And in order to receive the treat, so you had to work for it. It wasn't like, knock, knock,
Like
give me
today,
something.
give me something,
Like they
yeah.
had to do a performance, sing a song, do a dance, do something to deserve the treat rather than being like, open your bag.
Dance,
like now.
monkey, dance.
Pretty much, yeah. So there's a little
would
work
do that.
involved, and now everyone's just lazy, so they just open their bag and
Like, trick or treat, motherfucker.
I think I talked about this on another episode, but last Halloween was the first one where we were like in a house, so we were able to do trick or treaters.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like there'd be like a one child would come and then they would leave, like, so like it was like a pretty steady stream, and like I would go to reach to grab more candy for the next kid that's about to come up, and the one that had just left would turn around thinking, oh, I get more. And I'm like,
yeah.
I like what?
You're like, you little greedies, get out of here.
God. Also, I'm also almost running out.
Yeah.
I didn't prepare for this.
Well, I remember, I mean, it happens every year, but I remember last year specifically, kids coming up and like not saying anything. They would just knock on the door and the door would open. Like we usually just keep the door open for like a couple hours because the kids are just coming up, and we have lights and fog machines. We make it really cool and spooky, but they would just like come up and stand there. And I don't know if it was more so because they were afraid because we made it kind of spooky. Like we freaked them out and they forgot what they were supposed to say, or they're just being little assholes, but they wouldn't say anything. And I would say, what do you say? And they would look at me like they didn't know how to say trick or treat, and I'm like, sorry, you're not getting shit until you say trick or treat. Those are the rules.
Yeah.
I don't
Say
know who.
my name.
I don't know who told you how this worked, but I don't give out candy unless they
Also,
trick or
here's
treat.
an egg.
Yeah. I'm gonna give them raisins.
Yeah, here's a toothbrush.
What's the? This is a little. It's on topic, but a little off topic. What's the craziest thing that you've gotten?
Toothbrush.
Toothbrush.
I never got
We live next to a dentist, and I was like,
oh, well,
fuck
yeah,
you.
that's your.
I mean, as an adult now, I'm like, wow, thank you.
Yeah, because those are expensive. They're
Right.
like $4.
And most of the time you like overuse a toothbrush.
Yeah.
Like you're like, wow, I probably have had this for 3 years. I think I need a new one.
Mine looks like it went through a world war, and I'm like,
I bought you a toothbrush last
Not
time we
if
went to
you use
Walmart,
Quip.
remember?
I used it.
Oh.
Too late. It didn't last that long. I've replaced it like 7 times.
It was one of
then.
those fancy charcoal black toothbrushes. It's very goth.
Fancy.
That was like a year ago.
It was like a year ago.
That was before masks.
It was before masks.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah, that was like February.
I remember as a kid getting raisins, which I was very upset about because I don't like raisins. And it was the Sun Kiss, the little red boxes of raisins.
Oh, I like those.
But then I remember one year getting socks.
Oh,
like,
that's fun.
But they were like Halloween socks, like
Okay,
kid
that's
socks. And I was
cute.
like, I mean, I prefer candy, but I like a good pair of Halloween socks.
I mean, it's so nice to mix things up, I
Yeah.
guess.
As an adult, I would love.
Yeah.
I
I
would
would be
cry.
like, please,
Yeah.
Like you for
please.
me.
Yeah. This year we have, we'll always give out candy, but we have, which I'm kind of excited to give out, we have like Halloween kids skeleton gloves. We have like a ton of them. And I'm like, we should give these out for Halloween.
Oh,
like give
that's
them a
fun.
handful of candy and then some skeleton gloves. So I feel like kids are going to be pumped, but they have to say
and
trick or
it's
treat.
safe.
Yeah.
'Cause bitches love gloves.
They
Kids
do
love
love
gloves
gloves.
too.
They do.
Mothers do. For
Okay. I don't
safety.
know. There's a
got
little
hands,
tangent.
it's gloves.
Yeah. You got hands? You want gloves? I got you.
I want socks for my only feet.
Coming soon.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Wiki feet.
And do you have more history?
No.
Okay, that's it. That's how it happened, folks.
That's
Done.
how it happened.
There was
I
a-
wanted to really small scale it so I didn't overwhelm the fucking, civilization here.
So what
Like,
we've learned today so far, 2,000 years ago, people rubbed sticks together, started fires.
essentially
The poor people
And then
asked
it
for
went-
treats.
Yeah. It went from like ritual to like, ooh, I'm gonna dance for a snack. And then it was like now it's like this cultural phenomenon.
Yeah,
And I
and-
do remember, like I feel like 10 years ago it wasn't even a big deal.
Yeah, I feel like
No.
it's now it's getting way
I feel like
bigger.
like for me, it was always a big deal.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
because Halloween's a big deal for me. But for
Mainstream-wise,
mainstream
it wasn't
worldwide,
cool to like
or,
it.
or not even worldwide, nationwide, because you think about like other countries, which is crazy traveling to other countries where they don't
Yeah,
do
some places
Halloween.
don't even
what's,
really do
what's weird
Halloween.
is because it's like it immigrated here, so you would think that like because like the Irish brought it over,
Right.
And like I remember you said you went to South America, or South Africa,
South Africa,
yeah, and they were like, oh wow, like
Well, they had started. So we were at a convention, and it was I think late September. So it was basically around Halloween time. And every time we go somewhere new around the fall time, I always wonder out of country what's the tradition like here. So we've been to New Zealand, which was awesome because they had an amazing haunted house, but it wasn't like they don't do trick or treating, or it's just starting to happen there. But in South Africa, it was like they had some decorations at the convention, but talking to the people, they're like, yeah, we just don't, that's just not a thing here, So you think about, they actually travel to other places. They travel to the United States because they want it so bad and they can't get it there. It's just not a cultural thing there. So for us, that's really hard to understand because it's part of our lives.
it's like
as
we're cool,
kids.
and we don't even know it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's interesting to see how much of a like phenomenon it has become and how people are like crazy about it.
What's
like
weird is like I still feel like even though it's such a big thing now, like even when you're wearing like obviously like we do Halloween all year, but like when I'm wearing black with a hat on in like April and people are like, it's not Halloween yet.
Yeah.
Like, you would think it's so mainstream now that people just don't give a fuck, but they still want to like make that dig.
Yeah. The other day I was at, I think it was Joann's, and I was grabbing a couple of things, and I had like a purse. It was just orange. It wasn't like Halloweened out or anything. And I think I had a shirt on that had like, it was the Target shirt that came out with the fangs on it and like spiderweb sweatpants because I don't care anymore. I just go out in my pajamas now. And the lady like kept looking at me and she's like, so you really like Halloween, right? And I was like, it didn't even dawn on me to look at what I looked like. And I was like,
That
yeah,
happened to
doesn't
me-
everybody?
That happened to me in a good way because like I have that mat from Target. It says like we're really into Halloween, and by we're it's just me and myself.
As an I.
They think I'm like living with people. I'm like no. And then I have
just
this
me.
giant pumpkin on my door, and it says the ash layer. But I was coming out of my door, and like one of my neighbors who I've never met, but he's always walking his dog. He's like, I really like your stuff. I'm from Salem, and I was like, shit.
Oh, you're like my
so
people.
now, like, I have a homie in my apartment. 'cause
Someone
he
that gets
saw my
you.
pumpkins, and it was like the flip where he's
It
like,
unites
ooh,
people.
Yeah. And he was like, oh my God, like, let's hang out.
Yeah, you
I
guys
can
are
be
friends
myself in
now.
front. She's not going to think I'm
Yes.
weird.
Yes, let's be buddies. Let's be weird.
And I think now there's so much stuff. I would say this year is a little bit of exempt from it because of the whole pandemic. I feel like a lot of like the cool Halloween decor and stuff got a little bit of a kind of, it's a little shit
It's
show.
a
Like we
little
didn't
bit
get everything
boring.
we would normally get. But I feel like people get crazy about it. Like there's
Oh, no,
those
yeah.
Instagram pages where people literally spend every day, all day, finding Halloween things and posting about them. And then people are like frantic to go to TJ Maxx to find that same pumpkin.
Yeah.
Like people are nuts.
I've been doing that.
So crazy.
You are one of those
I stalk
people.
the pages. I don't post the things, but I look and I'm like, where's that thing? But yeah, a lot of it it's like really kind of like kiddie. I don't know how to describe it, but like a lot of the stuff is just like, if I had a front porch, I'd stick it on my porch, but it's not something I want in my house.
You would pack it up.
Yeah.
Like the way I explain it is I buy things that there's Halloween decorations and then there's decor. I buy things that are decor because it's something I would keep up all year round.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate those pages because I'm like, I essentially am shopping online without having to go out.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's all they have at Target? I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't need to go there this year.
I had like a Target explosion the other day because like the one in Glendale started putting out all their stuff. I've been like, they're late this year. I don't
For
know
sure.
why.
Yeah, it's usually like in
So,
July.
Me and my friend were finally like, they're putting the shit out. Like, let's make a moment. So I go and it's all those weird like Venus flytraps that look kind of like cheesy. And online, you're like, you talk yourself out of it. You're like, like I don't really need them.
Yeah. What do I
And
need?
I went and I was like, well, actually, they look really good on my patio. Like,
Yeah.
fuck, I'll get them all. The
Need
guy
it.
was literally putting them out and I was putting them in a car. I was
You're like, thank
me
you.
And me and my friend went.
Okay.
Glendale literally had 7 of them and we got all of them.
This is why every time I go to Target, you
Yeah.
went before because I
You're
was
the
just
people.
literally, I was
Don't
telling
go
you
to
this. I'm like,
Glendale.
Yeah.
the shelves are always
But
empty.
then I got
empty.
home and I was like, well, they're cute. Did I need them? No, but I was
Yeah.
like, it was in the moment. I was like, well, I have somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it
But-
just makes you feel good. Halloween shopping is retail therapy of like
Yeah.
the best kind. But it's usually things that you're like, did I really need that? No.
No.
Where do I have enough shelf space for another jack-o'-lantern succulent? Probably no, but I'm going to
do.
get
Makes
it
me
anyway.
happy.
Yeah, it does. I agree.
That's all that really matters.
So basically we're just like Halloween shopping addicts.
Yep.
That was a tangent, but you have important information, right, AJ?
Yeah. So important. Yeah. If you're single and looking for a honey. So you're gonna cover history,
okay.
and
I was like, I don't get it.
I was gonna look for like vintage traditions that people do around Halloween, and for some reason, most of the stories that I found were like weird things that people do to help with their love life.
To find a mate, a
To find
soulmate.
Nothing
a
says
mate?
love like dead bodies.
Yeah, of course. And
On the 31st
Hail
of
Satan.
October.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So one of them is actually there's 2 that involve mirrors, and they're like you do different things. So there's one where you stand in front of a full-length mirror in a candlelit room, and you eat an apple looking into the mirror. And you have to do it on midnight or at midnight on Halloween, and over your shoulder, your spouse will appear. Your future
Too many
spouse.
rules. I'd fail.
That one, it's like you kind of have to jump through a lot of hoops. Some of them are a little more easy. The other one is you're holding a hand mirror and you have so kind of like if you want to like look at your backside for some reason in a mirror.
Oh, like when they cut your hair?
I do that all the time.
Yeah. You're like, oh, wow,
I
my
know,
backside
like, ooh,
looks
she's
good.
looking
You
good.
want to look back at it. I do. So you stand holding a hand mirror with a full-length mirror behind you, and you have to be 6 steps away, and
From the mirror behind
from
you?
the mirror behind you. So there's some room between
Social
you and
distancing.
that. You have to, yeah.
6 feet.
So if you look into the mirror, your significant other will appear behind you, and if you turn too quickly to face them, they'll disappear forever.
My life.
So essentially you're seeing the person that you've never met before, what they're going to look like.
Yeah, I guess.
What if you see them and you're like, ew.
Yeah.
You're
Like,
turn around real quick?
You're like, never mind. We're
You're
going to
like,
wait
no,
till next
thanks,
year.
no
you
thanks.
have like you're like, shit. He disappears. Didn't want that.
Don't
Wait
want
till
that. No
next year.
thanks. If you don't have any mirrors on hand, but you have a barn and some yarn, you can
barn and
do
some yarn.
Yarn in a barn, where you go into a dark barn with some blue yarn. You throw the yarn into the dark, and you wait for basically a spirit to tug the other side of the yarn, and you say,
Nice.
"Who goes
Terrifying.
there?" And whatever
Yo,
name is
daddy.
called back is the love of your life.
Okay, I'm going to do all of these things on Halloween. And I'm
You're
going to see.
married.
I know, but I'm going to see if I get Cameron.
What if it doesn't? What if it says like Steve?
Jimmy.
Well, then that's unfortunate because I'm already married. But
Yeah, then what?
Then whatever. But I don't
Maybe
think
it's the next life.
I just want to see how a thing shows up in a mirror
I think it's like a Bloody Mary situation where it's like your mind, you believe it so much.
Right.
That
I think you're probably
you manifest.
high too.
Yeah. I feel like there's some sort of like hallucinogenics or alcohol
going
or
on.
Shia LaBeouf.
something's happening.
Something's happening
beyond what you're saying.
Don't have access to a barn. Running low on blue yarn, you can go to the nearest Cabbage Patch, blindfold yourself, walk into the Cabbage Patch, and when you feel right, you grab one of the cabbages, then you leave.
Wait, can you see?
No, you're blindfolded.
How are you going to walk through a Cabbage Patch with the blindfold?
You trip on those fucking little buggers.
You got to do what you got to do to
you just
find
feel
love.
it. Like,
you just feel it in your heart.
Okay.
You levitate.
You grab one of them, you leave, and when you look at it, the state of the cabbage, so if it's like rotten and gross, that means you're going to have an ugly, mean husband or wife. Nice. And if you have a really nice looking one,
you're going to have a nice looking,
they're going to have attractive, nice
husband
or
wife.
The state of the cabbage tells you the attractiveness and character of your significant other.
I feel like there are way better ways.
Yeah, like picking an avocado.
Or
something.
Dating on the internet where you see pictures of people and you're like, yes, I like you. No, I don't like you.
Also, this is more vague because at least the other ones, it tells you a name or you see their face. So you kind of know what to look for. This, it's like
a cabbage.
Any ugly guy can be my next boyfriend.
Well, what if he's ugly, but he has a nice personality? What kind of cabbage is that? A mediocre one?
That's like a cabbage that has like wilty outsides, but you just have to peel a couple layers and then it's fresh.
Ogres are like onions. They have layers.
Like a nasty $5 footlong with like prime meat inside.
Yes.
Yeah, you just got to get through. You just peel off the bad parts
on the outside. You're like, whatever. Get to it eventually.
When you started saying Cabbage Patch, I know I said this earlier.
Yes.
When we were talking about, all I think of like is Cabbage Patch dolls, and I know that cabbages grow in a patch, but I can't get beyond the fact that you would just be walking through a patch of like Cabbage Patch baby heads
like
everywhere.
An actual thing. It's not just dolls.
It's not. Yeah.
Don't have any access to any of those things. You have some chestnuts on hand and an open fire. You can throw those chestnuts into the fire, and basically how it like pops in the fire will determine the state of your relationship.
I heard it was like the one that I read.
But what does that mean?
It was like a Scottish thing where they were like, you have like all of your suitors' names, and the ones that pop aren't the ones, but the one that burns is.
So you write your names on them?
Well,
on the chestnuts?
I guess you do them individually. Be like, this is Jonathan pops, and then you're like, this is Edgar, and Edgar burns. You're like, well, I guess I'm fucking Edgar tonight.
Got
and then Billip is the last one, and Billip pops.
And Billip's like, no go, Billip. Sorry, not tonight.
Here it is. Thanks, Satan.
I feel like these are crazy, but you figure like essentially online dating and things that we have now we have an app for that. Now there's like technological ways to do these things, whereas before they're like, hey, we don't have Tinder, so we're just going to take our yarn into the barn because that's all we have.
Grindr, what are they going to do?
Yeah, you're going to take the yarn into the barn.
I also think this is very similar to like, you know, when you're a little kid and you're like, oh, who are you going to marry and who are you going to
Or you do
kiss?
what do you call the cootie catcher?
Yeah, like I feel like this is more in line with those things where it's like,
we should make one of these up.
Similar.
We need to make one of these crazy things up and then like get someone to publish it in an article, like the things we see on the internet. So people just do it. People might start doing it.
Do we have chestnuts right now? Because I see a lighter. And
have you ever roasted a chestnut on an open fire? I've never done that.
No. What do I look like? Santa Claus? Fuck.
Yeah, so I don't know what would happen, but I think we should make up a really wacky thing and see if, like, have you, in this article or in your research, do you find anyone that had done any of these things?
No, it's mostly people saying like,
just talking about the traditions.
Talking about the tradition and like how weird they would walk into a Cabbage Patch with the blindfold on.
That must be so fun to do though when there's nothing else. Because like you think about those times, you're like, there's no electricity, you're sitting home like cleaning your pants.
It's like 2020.
What else do you have to live for? What do you have to live for?
It's 2020. Yeah. You need to find some love, and people are social distancing, so you're just gonna
spend your time on these.
Win the Cabbage Patch with the yarn, or what was the first one? The mirrors.
Yeah.
Get a lot of mirrors.
There was another one where, like, we would all make like a paper boat, and then put a cork. Like I forgot how they do it, but like you put a cork on the back and light it on fire so like it'll move. Mm-hmm. So we all write our names on our boats that we create, and whose ever boat is left without like burning and sinking is the one who's not going to find love before they die.
Wait, so if your boat doesn't sink, then your life sucks?
Yeah.
Nice. That's a double entendre.
You're not going to find love. So your life could be amazing, but you just be alone.
You're going to be wealthy, but no boning. So...
I mean, to each their own.
Yeah,
your boat will. I get it. Your boat will sail, but you will be a lone boat. You'll be in a one-person kayak.
No problem.
You'll be a lone boat. Yeah,
loner boat.
Yeah.
No.
But the main thing is they have to do all of these things on Halloween night, or else it doesn't work.
What do you even say to someone when you see that? You're like, well, sucks to be you.
What if I did it and I see Cameron's face, and then like a month later I'm like, hey. So on Halloween night, I took some yarn into a barn, and then this invisible ghost tugged on my yarn and said Cameron. Or I did a mirror and your face showed up in the dark behind me, and that's how, like, you would be like, wow, you're fucking crazy.
You're insane,
no
lady.
second date. Canceled. We're moving on. This is not happening.
Did you smoke the Pineapple Express? Shit. Like, what the fuck?
I feel like it's a individual process that I feel like you could never really tell the other person about because you're going to sound nuts.
Or maybe you tell them and they're just that cool that they're like, awesome.
Or they did it too. Yeah, and they said your name.
And then one of them comes out like Cameron, then the other one like doesn't come out, and you're like, well, shit.
Well, I don't know if it worked or didn't work. But that's crazy. I'd never heard of that.
Yeah,
Of the relationship tradition things. I just assumed it was more Halloween type things.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe like people do it around Halloween because there is that like
the veil is thinner.
The veil is thinner, so you can lean on this. You can get advice from the spirits on that day or something. But there is the one that was like at midnight on Halloween is when you do it. Although wouldn't it be the day after Halloween technically?
You would have to do it on All Hallows Eve, so that at midnight. Well. Yeah, at midnight, it would technically be Halloween. So it would be the night before.
I wonder if dead people know. Like, they're like, oh, it's October 31st.
Like, they have checked their calendars.
Whip
or they
my
just
shit
feel it
out.
in their
like,
soul.
I wonder, like, if I'm dead and I'm a ghost, do I look forward to Halloween?
I feel like you're aware of the
'Cause
time.
I just, like, give people wet willies.
You're also
like,
not
virtually.
blind. So, like, you're like, oh, all the pumpkins are out. Oh, the kids are knocking on the doors tonight. It must be
I'll
the
just
night.
be hanging out at Vaughn's all the time.
just waiting
like
for
a
them to put the
ghost.
pumpkins out.
Yeah.
Or it's like a cat thing because, like, our cat it had like has a automatic feeder that goes at 7, and the cat will be waiting there at 6:30, 6:45. Like, she knows when it's almost 7 o'clock because obviously she's not looking at the clock.
And
going,
she doesn't have a little kitty Apple Watch, which would be really cute if she did.
It would be adorable, but no, she doesn't have one. So, like, I just think it's something like that.
It's the body clock.
Yeah. Like, they just know.
I think they just know after they go to the bathroom. It's like time clock.
They're like, my stomach is empty.
Yeah,
it's
like
time to refill.
Time to eat.
But I feel like that makes sense. That's a daily clock. But like a yearly one time in 365 days is a little bit harder to keep track of.
Do you think ghosts can, like, feel if it's cold?
Aren't they
warm?
just all cold anyways? Like,
Yeah, I don't
that's
think they.
true. Well,
I don't.
Can
Yeah,
they
I don't think they
pee?
sweat. Can they pee?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Have you no? Well, I don't. Have you watched Casper? He eats the
No.
garden and the food goes right through him.
I love Casper.
I love Casper too. I don't think they pee. I don't think they.
I mean, they're organs. They're all
Ectoplasm.
They're
organs.
organs. Oh, ectoplasm. Yeah, but that could be
what
their
if
pee.
That is ghost poop.
Ghost
Wait,
poop.
what is?
Ghost
Ectoplasm.
diarrhea.
Ghost
Ectoplasm.
diarrhea.
What is?
Ectoplasm. The goo.
Have you not
I don't
seen
know why I did
Ghostbusters?
this. You know, the
Oh,
goo.
the green shit.
Yeah.
Ectoplasm. Yeah.
Yeah, but what, have you seen that in real life?
There's people that have reported stories with like ectoplasm.
They
And
say
they
goo
didn't just
places.
sneeze?
What was the thing that we just, was it My Paranormal Experiencer, the one where that guy had this crazy thing where it was like raining inside of a house, and it was essentially like what similar stories with ectoplasm, but it was like, it looked like rain, but when they felt it, it was like had this consistency of like goo.
Like boogers.
Yeah. And he basically was, essentially the story was that he was possessed and he was able to make it rain. The
Yeah,
ectoplasm.
make it rain.
Make it
I was
rain.
gonna say, that
and
song.
but it was a really cool story. So there is reported incidences of ectoplasm.
Yeah.
All I remember is endoplasmic reticulum from science class, and I'm like, I wonder if it has anything to do with that.
What's
It's some fucking cell shit.
Oh, okay.
It's about cells, but like if you have that, it's like, hello, like I'm alive, but maybe it changes to
ectoplasm, when you die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
From
you're
endo to ecto.
endo to ecto.
Into out.
Ecto cooler.
In
That's
and out.
very
ecto
good.
cooler.
It's so good.
Side
Bring it
note,
back.
I got from Target.
Yep.
I did my raid of all of the things that you'll see later in the episode. But they had Kool-Aid. It was called Kool-Aid. And it was like the Capri Suns, but the Kool-Aid. And it was Scary Berry.
Oh,
and I was
that's
so
fun.
excited. And then I didn't even tell Cameron this. I tried one and it was disgusting.
Oh, I'll have it. I'll put
You can
liquor
have
in
all
it.
of it. It's like so weirdly chemical tasting, but the package looks really cool. So if you want it for the aesthetic, it looks great. Tastes like crap.
Unless you add vodka.
Yeah, I guess if you put alcohol in it, it would probably be way
Yeah.
better. But yeah, was not a fan.
Ew.
That's a bummer.
Any more weird culty
Another really weird thing that I saw. This has nothing to do with finding a
mate?
A mate, unfortunately. Sorry. Click away if you're not interested. Apparently, there's things called dumb suppers, which I'm like, is this where a bunch of dumb people eat dinner together?
Wait, I love the word supper because that used to be my
I just
East
think of
Coast
a
thing.
dumb waiter, like in the old homes
yeah.
where you used to put the food in the little thing and it was like a pulley system.
So,
A dumb supper, is it the same thing? Oh, sorry, I don't know.
no, dumb supper is where you have a meal to celebrate the dead and loved ones that have passed, where you basically eat a meal in total silence and you leave chairs open for
As if you were
said
eating with them?
spirits. Yeah.
Sounds like you have no
I feel like they should
friends.
call it something else. Why would you call it a dumb
I don't
supper?
know
That's
how you
mean.
would call it that. That's yeah.
Like
And
a
then-
celebration supper.
Calling like the people that passed away.
No,
Yeah.
it's really dumb because it's stupid.
Well, it may be dumb because if someone
'Cause
were to
you look
walk
like
in
an
on
idiot.
you,
You look
they'd be like,
dumb.
"What the
That
hell
could
are
be
you
it.
doing, you dummy?"
I was also thinking like if you go and eat somewhere by yourself, but you feel kind of self-conscious about like eating in a restaurant by
yeah.
yourself. You're just like, no, I'm having a dumb
Dumb
supper.
Dumb supper.
Party of one.
Aw, I mean, that's a poor name for something
love
that
it.
sounds actually kind of
That
nice.
would be yeah.
Next time I go somewhere alone and they're like, "Are you meeting anyone?" I'll be like, "Nope, just having a dumb supper." Shit.
And they would just probably look at you weird
Yeah.
and be like,
They'd
"Okay,
do you want another one?" I'd be like, "Yep." Gonna be one of those nights.
I mean, everyone could probably use a dumb supper,
Yeah.
a quiet moment to
I think
appreciate
I have
those.
those every day, and I just do it alone.
You just
I
don't. You
I
just
have a
don't have. It
title.
has a
Yeah.
name for it.
I got all my like dudes. I got Baby Yoda. I got like Delbert the dog baby.
It's like
And then
a
my
tea
10,000
party.
chairs.
Yeah.
like, that no one sits in.
You have a lot of chairs. It's for all the
my
ghosts.
life is a dumb supper. Shit.
Oh, well, that's sweet. I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a dumb supper this Halloween at this Halloween time.
I'm having one tomorrow. Fuck it.
We could do one right when we're
Go to
done.
Amazon Prime some food for myself.
So one of the things that is the main tradition that people think about when you think of Halloween is trick-or-treating. So we kind of talked about the evolution of trick-or-treating, and we have all heard the horror stories of trick-or-treating horrors, of razor blades in the candy, poison candy apples, kind of the crazy things that struck a lot of fear into families and parents and kids themselves. And one interesting thing when I was doing research, I'm like, are any of these things actually true? Because for a long time, like there was crazy traditions that were put to a halt or things that had to be put in order to protect kids against these things. And what I found is none of it was true.
Yeah.
So there has actually never been a razor blade found inside of a candy wrapper. There have been instances of poison, but not necessarily like people haven't died from them. So these things have happened, but kids haven't.
I thought there was a pixie stick murderer.
There was. So the whole issue was, I have notes.
I have notes. I
I'm
do
gonna look at my
decree.
notes.
Heard a ho, Charlie Brown.
So, one thing that was kind of interesting is from the 1980s to the 1990s, some police offices and hospitals,
offices or officers?
like police stations, sorry,
Sounds
police
like you said
stations,
officers with like an accent.
office sales.
Offices.
So
Excuse me, officer.
police stations and hospitals actually offered X-rays of kids trick-or-treating bags. So you could go.
So
That
lame.
seems like a waste of.
Well, it
like,
was. It was an
time.
absolute waste. So you could basically go trick or treating, and then you go to the police station or you go to the hospital and you'd be like, "Can you X-ray my bag? Because I don't want to eat a razor blade."
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. That just came in from a horrible car crash. I have to check little Timmy's ice
His
candy
pillowcase to make sure he
doesn't
doesn't.
have razor blades.
Right. But because so much fear had been striking these people, like they legit thought, like, we have to do this, rather than being like, hey, at that time, there was no like vacuum sealer machine. So you could just check to see if it had been tampered with.
Yeah.
But so they offered it and then quickly kind of put a halt to it because they said there's one of two problems. Obviously, the liability of saying something is safe and then saying like, obviously we're x-raying it. So you're putting radiation to the candy, which is not good. And saying that it's safe and then a kid eats it and can get sick for various reasons and then sue the hospital.
Yeah.
And then the fact that they never found anything. So they had been doing this for a very long time and never found anything. So at a certain point, they're like, well, we're not going to be liable if we say this is safe. And then Billy has an allergic reaction to peanuts and then says, we're going to sue the hospital because you said it was safe.
Yeah.
So that basically stemmed from a couple incidences. And there was a woman in New York in 1964 who, her name was Helen, and she was arrested for handing out ant poison and dog biscuits to kids.
Nice.
And so when she was questioned, she was arrested and questioned, and she said it was a joke and that she was only doing it for kids that had been bad. So she was like, oh, you're a naughty kid. I'm going to give you ant poison.
Oh, you didn't say trick or treat when I opened the door.
Yeah, I'm going to give you
ant
dog biscuits.
Those like little, those white things.
The little ant traps.
Yeah, like kind of looks like a Reese's. You could just cover that in chocolate.
Yeah, but see, the thing is with these cases, like the kid obviously knew they got an ant poison thing because it wasn't like she put ant poison in the cookies.
She didn't go that extra
She
mile
just
and
went and got the
look.
raid traps and put those in the bags and gave kids dog biscuits. So it said like milk bone on it. So the kids didn't eat it. And even if you ate a dog biscuit, if you ate ant poison, you would get sick.
Hey.
And if you ate a dog
Sometimes
biscuit,
dog food's okay.
you might just poop yourself, but you're not going to die. But the story that you're talking about is a man by the name of O'Brien. He basically had poisoned pixie sticks with cyanide, and he had put cyanide in pixie sticks, I think, that were given to 5 kids. One of the kids was actually his son, who was 8 years old, ate the pixie stick with the cyanide in it and died. None of the other kids ate it, so only his son died. But then they found out that he had previously taken out a life insurance policy on his kids. So he was arrested, and he was actually sentenced to death by, I believe, lethal injection.
Nope.
But it took like 10 years from when the incident happened to when he was actually killed. But it was foul play. It wasn't, obviously, he wasn't trying to poison kids. He was just hoping that more of the kids had eaten it so that they wouldn't have known that he was trying to kill his own kid.
It's basically like the Tylenol murders where like someone poisoned 5 things of Tylenol, brought one home for themselves because they wanted to kill their husband.
Right.
But it's basically like, well, I didn't do it because these 4 other people.
It could have been
also
any of
got-
those people that got in contact with them.
It's Tylenol's fault. It's Pixie Sid's fault.
Yeah.
Pixie Stick's
So
fault.
basically
the office's fault.
his attorney had basically said that, or the lawyer, I guess they interviewed him, and it was called the Candyman crime. They basically had said from the story that this man, O'Brien, had killed Halloween because people were so
What an
afraid
honor.
after it. Yeah, what an honor to be a
2,000
psychopath.
years of history, and he kills it
down the drain.
Candyman.
Yeah.
Because he wanted life insurance from
On
his
your
kid.
8-year-old. Like, I'm sure there was different ways of you being a shady human being. You didn't have to kill your kid.
Yeah,
but
come on. Sell some feet photos.
Yeah,
first
there's
before
many.
you do
I don't
that.
know if feet photos would have been in 19.
They
What
didn't
was
have
it?
Wikipedia in 1980.
And it was in
I mean, they
74.
should have. 1974. They didn't even have Macintosh.
Halloween
Oh,
1974. I don't think
They
feet
were
photos are a thing.
Fucking with big boy computers, but not.
Or if they were, they're on Polaroids.
They didn't even have MySpace.
Feet Polaroids, I feel like could have done something, but I don't know. You gotta find a person that's into that. So there was another thing. So this actually didn't just stay in the United States. So in other countries, in the 1980s in Japan, there was a crime ring, and they were called the Mystery Man with 21 Faces, which seems like a very long.
That's
But it's
an
like, you know,
aggressive title.
in when they translate something, you're like, happy birthday, but then they translate into Japanese and it's like 1,700 syllables. And they're like, oh no, they just said happy birthday. So I feel like that's one of those cases.
Like my
But
tattoo on my back.
when they
I don't know
translate
what
it,
it
you're like,
says.
why is this
Yeah.
so long?
Definitely not my name.
So this crime ring was basically targeting these giant candy companies in Japan, and they were threatening to put cyanide in the candy. And if the candy companies didn't pay these large ransom amounts, they would say, like, we're going to release the cyanide candy, which never happened. So they was just empty threats. But later on, the blackmailers actually ended up getting cyanide into packaged cookies. And what was it else? It was cookies and candies that were found on the shelves. And I don't know how they discovered that they had cyanide in them, but they were pulled. So no one actually died from it. The only fatality was the police officer on the case ended up killing himself because he was like so guilt stricken that he never was able to crack the case because this crime ring was never discovered.
Oh.
So they were like wreaking havoc for years and basically putting so many people's lives in danger because they were threatening that the candy was poisoned, but either it never was or that it was discovered before anyone had it. So,
well, shit, you learn something every day.
Moral of the story is Halloween is the second biggest holiday, I believe.
What's the biggest
Valentine's
holiday?
Day.
No, that can't be the big. Oh, fucking no.
Yes, Easter
Kill
and
me now.
Valentine's Day. So
Christmas?
Christmas is number one. Halloween is the second. Cameron's shaking his head saying it's not, but it is. The facts say it is. But I believe I wrote notes down of how much money is spent
I feel
on
like
candy.
You're lying. I'm gonna check.
Look it up. I swear.
Look it up.
It's like billions of dollars. How much is? Where is my note?
Biggest holidays.
You look up that thing, and I'm gonna try to find. I wrote too many notes. I can't find
the
it.
biggest dog breed? No, that's not what I want. Biggest holiday.
Are you Googling?
Holiday.
Biggest holidays in the USA: Easter, Independence Day, Thanksgiving,
Not
Christmas, Memorial
No,
Day.
number one. You want to know number one
Easter.
holiday?
I mean,
It is
Halloween
not
is
Easter.
number 6.
That's a
Easter,
lie.
bro.
My article was from 2019, so I believe my article was correct. But the amount of money that people spend on Halloween candy is like millions. It's like, but the thing is, the statistic was like it was like 2.6 million or something crazy, but on specifically just Halloween Day. So think about all of the time that people buy it at Costco beforehand to stock up, or that they buy it after when it's on clearance. So much money is spent on Halloween candy. I spent about $35 on Halloween candy for just this episode.
I'm
for just
so
one day.
excited. I ate a lot of
hyped.
Doritos though, so I might throw up.
I mean,
Hey.
you just got to hold it in so we get through everything, so you make sure that you can give your honest opinion.
Hey, man.
Why is the bathroom on the top floor then?
Yeah, you're going to have to run if that happens.
Slip and slide down them stairs.
I literally do.
So
first
on
step.
that depressing note of, well, technically not a lot of kids have died from it. So the moral of the story is obviously
Not
be
too shabby.
safe when you go trick-or-treating.
Yeah, if you see a
Not that
needle
we can
sticking
go
out of your
this year.
candy, don't eat it.
Don't eat it.
Just
Or
don't.
just like stay home and buy your own bag.
Yeah.
or like
just
if something's
check it.
opened, it's yeah.
Yeah, don't take pastries from the neighbor
Well, that sounds
unless
nice,
you know
though.
the neighbor.
Yeah.
Because my neighbor, when we were kids, she used to bake cookies and cupcakes, and I was
She
like,
just
hell
shoves a
yeah.
cinnamon bun in your bag.
I was
Take
like,
this shit for
no,
later.
she literally
Brr.
would like bake cookies and like just put them in the bag. And I was like, no, like put it in my hand. But she would make amazing treats. Like one of our neighbors now makes decorated cookies. Like, you know, those videos where they decorate them all crazy.
Yeah.
Like she makes cookies like that. And I'm so excited for them, but I know her. So if I didn't know
That's
her, I
like when
probably
get
wouldn't eat
excited
it.
when Starbucks has their like cookies.
They're like
Their
cake
sugar
pops
cookies.
and
No, the sugar cookies, and I'm like, ooh, that's bad for
Their
me, but it's so
pumpkin
good.
bread
Yeah.
is really good.
snacks are nice, but only take them from people that aren't strangers. Check your candy. If you
Check
have
yourself.
children, check yourself.
Check behind for your husband, apparently.
Look in the mirror, take the yarn into the barn. There's lots of things you should
Going
do,
into
Pop
the
those nuts.
barn,
Pop
going
those
to
Give them a
chestnuts.
name
Cabbage
first.
Patch.
Name your nuts, pop them.
but be safe, be smart, and that's it. And I think if you do those, and what?
Time for candy.
And with that note, safety first, we're going to move on to what's in the coffin.
I'm gonna be checking all this candy. I don't
I was
trust you.
popping it with my fingers.
So we are back for a special edition of What's in the Coffin, and we know what's in the coffin, so we're just going to take it out. We have purchased all of the cool Halloween candies, like all of the themed ones, not the ones where it's just like a bat on the package. They're like
They're well thought out.
They're well
Yeah.
thought out. There's some fun ones in there, so we are going to try them and give you our opinions on them. And there's a lot.
Are
So
we rating these, or
And
are we just
I
saying
brought
if
some
they're good or
nice
not?
Oh, wait.
gummies from the homeland.
oh wait, it's very heavy. Hold on.
Well, snap.
This is the fabulous popcorn tin from Target. If you are interested, I'm going to put the coffin
Wow.
on the floor.
Sponsor us. But really.
Seriously.
So we have a variety of, I'm going to put these to the side because these are for later. a variety of Halloween treats. These are your gummies.
Yeah, dude.
Body parts.
Sorry. I got excited.
So I think we'll start with, because we couldn't resist and we started trying these beforehand. So these are the, that was a lovely introduction to the eating portion of the segment. These are the Witch's Brew Kit Kats. And so I'm going to give you one, clearing some space. These are...
Shit.
What?
She looks like me when I wake up.
She's real cute. Like the packaging's real
so
cute. It's crisp wafers in marshmallow flavored cream.
I'm gonna name my child Chris Wafer.
Oh, I thought it was marshmallow flavored on the outside.
That's what. Yeah, it is.
No, it says marshmallow flavored cream. That's the thing. Flavored. Leave me alone. I'm the lady with the witch. Like she's missing some teeth. That's how she would say it. She would say flavored.
David lied to us.
He did. So it's cute. It's green. So I think it's just white chocolate on the out, or green white chocolate. I'm just gonna throw that on the floor. And marshmallow. I think it's just the marshmallow in the inside. This does not sound
like a well thought out burrito.
It doesn't sound like the commercial when you crisp it.
It tastes like Rice Krispie treats.
It does. It's not super sweet. I like it.
These are very interesting shapes. They're called, I got them at Michael's Crafts. I got it. It's called Gummy Missing Body Parts. And you would think if I'm missing a body part, if you were missing a body part, what would you think the body part you'd miss? Judging your life, what would you lose?
Probably like an arm. Maybe.
Wait,
a whole arm?
What I'm okay with missing, or what I would hate to miss
damn, these
the
smell
most?
good.
Oh, we can
Smell
like
that
what I'd be okay without.
Smell that shit.
Oh wow, that's good. It smells like fruit punch, Hawaiian punch.
Well, I'm gonna give somebody a finger.
That doesn't look like a finger.
Why is it a bloody finger?
Well, it looks like
'Cause
a
it got
penis,
cut off.
and I'm gonna give you a brain.
Ooh, this is cute. It's like America.
And I'm gonna take the conspicuous bone.
It's America, and it has a little bit of brain tumor on the back.
Yeah.
There's eyeballs in there.
Oh, I just made a fart with my mouth. Sorry.
Well, it can't be worse than what I did a few minutes ago.
It's like a gummy shark, where it's gummy on the outside, and then it has like the.
Oh my god, you guys sound like a bunch of cows.
I'm not going to be able to watch this episode. I hate listening to people chew.
Well,
It is in stereo.
is that that tastes like Hawaiian punch.
Can't swallow it. It's too big.
Okay, what are we gonna do next?
Sure.
We have cookies and cream Twix. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whippets?
What?
I heard whippets.
No, I think that's drugs, right?
Yeah.
It's not drugs. You can't
Don't
get.
do it.
Give it to me.
Okay.
Oh.
So
I was going
the
to do it.
here you go. It's not shaped like anything but a normal Twix.
Oh my God, I'm so
Wait,
full
didn't
of
you just say you
Doritos.
recently had a Twix?
Yeah. Last year I had a Twix for the first time, and I love them.
This is cookies and cream.
Wait,
This is what it looks like.
Why is it brown?
why is it?
What do you mean why it's brown? A Twix is brown.
Yeah,
be
but I
white.
thought
It's
it
like a
was
little
cookies
turd
and
log.
cream.
It's got cookies and cream filling.
Oh.
You
that
like
tastes
it?
like
Cookies and cream.
It tastes like a Twix with an Oreo in the middle.
I don't know if I like that. It tastes like chalk.
What? Well, you also ate it after eating a gummy ear, or what did you eat?
A wiener.
Gummy wiener. Yeah, it's a little. I feel like we need a palate cleanser,
Yeah.
and all we have is more sugar. So, but I don't know what to
I
do
don't
with
know
it,
if
so
I
I'm just
like
gonna eat
this.
the whole thing.
I'm going to count with the hard counting.
So we do like the Kit Kat.
I'll probably stick to my normal Twix.
We're indifferent
That's
about the
some weird
Twix.
shit.
I'm gonna save these for later. What do you want to do next? Snickers or Reese's?
Reese's.
We have two kinds of Reese's, so you open that one.
Reese's.
It's Reese's. Is it Reese's or Reese's?
Reese's peanut butter cup.
Reese's.
Reese's. What do they say on the commercial?
I don't know.
Reese's peanut butter cup.
Yeah. You wrong, girl.
Fuck your rules.
Wait, give everyone one.
Well, I was trying to feel. This doesn't
You have to
feel
show
right,
them.
But here you go.
Trick or treat.
I also left them in the car, so they might be slightly
Oh
melted.
yeah, this is
This
melted.
is fucked up.
This is Reese's Scary Ghosts.
I whip my hand back and forth.
Sneeze.
That's a ghost for you.
Wait.
It's a ghost for you.
Here, take this one on the floor.
Milk
Thank you.
chocolate with green colored cream.
That's what they
Um,
call me.
Where's the package? These are called Franken
Oh, it's got
cups.
a face on it.
Well, I think you had to do that. You had to decorate it, but it's just
Shit.
a
They
little
don't pay me enough
halvesies.
for that.
Oh, these are gluten free.
Who's gonna open a Reese's and put a
Reese's?
face on it before they eat it?
Like if you had a Halloween party, you would take them out of the
Yeah.
package and you decorate them, put them on a
Oh
platter.
God, it's white like my bottom.
Or the
Look at how
the
white
ghost.
it is. It's like glowing.
Oh yeah, yours is melted for sure.
I was like, wait, why does yours look so different?
it's like a tongue going. Blah.
What is happening with this?
Oh, mine.
Look.
You have to take it out of the thing.
No. Hers
No,
is fucked
look
up.
at.
Oh yeah, you got jacked. Oh, I just bit my tongue. Oh, it just tastes like a normal.
Yeah, it's half and
It's
half.
cool though. Looks good.
I opened the wrong one.
It's fine. Tell us how the ghost is.
Good. Is that a ghost? It looks like a shit.
Ghost poop.
Ghost poo, ectoplasm. It all comes full circle. I wish this was mint chocolate
Oh,
on
that'd
the
be
bottom.
really good.
And chocolate with peanut butter?
Yeah, mint chocolate on with the green, and then peanut butter, and then the other kind.
It's very delicious.
Mine just says scary.
I like to read what's in it because it's like drugs.
Contains
Drugs. Shea butter.
What is TBHQ?
what are you saying?
Next candy.
We have to eat the ghost one.
Safflower.
What?
That's what it is.
Sunflower?
Safflower. Like sassafras.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, mine looks a little bit like a poop.
Right?
I feel like all you have to do is make it look good on the package, and then
It looks like a Pokemon that didn't fully form. A Pokemon
the
fetus.
white chocolate ones.
Poke fetus.
Mine's melty.
Oh. Oh my god, I'm feeling really nauseous. A lot of
Me
chocolate.
too.
I'm just taking bites of everything.
I'm gonna chuck in my Uber. We're just talking about Snickers now.
I like this one better because it
good.
doesn't. You don't taste the chocolate as much.
Yeah.
It just tastes more like
What's
peanut
so
butter.
special about this shit? Extreme.
I only got those because AJ really likes Snickers.
These
I'm a
are.
big fan of the Snikers.
Well, let's throw these.
No,
nuts
it's not
into
extreme.
fire.
It's excreme.
Excreme.
Get it?
excrement.
This ain't the X Games. It's extreme.
Thank you. He's got a cute little ghost on the package.
I
He's
think
like,
you broke
"Rawr."
your rule of just buying something that has a
feels
ghost
so-
on it.
Yeah, I know.
Feels
The
so
lady
nutty.
in CVS, she's like, "There's a trick or treating happening already." I'm like, "No, this is just for me." She was like, "Oh."
Ma'am.
So this one just looks like a normal Snickers, but what's the difference? What's the?
There's
different.
so many nuts in it.
Oh, is that what it is? Let me see what it
It
says.
smells different.
It's a different chocolate.
It says
It smells different.
It tastes like a chocolate turtle.
it's all nuts and caramel.
All nuts, no play.
All nuts. Oh, so it doesn't have.
No nougat?
It has no nougat. Oh, no, she's not happy. You like the nougat,
I
right?
like it.
What is this?
I love it.
How dare you? Number one. How dare you?
I like it.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. I just
No,
thought it had.
Snickers.
Oh.
What? How?
It's your
why?
fault, actually. You own Snickers.
Yeah, I designed it. I would have
why
put
we're all
I would
here
have put a
right
better
now.
ghost on the package if it was my design. Yeah, it's a
We
little.
got more shit.
Yeah, there's a lot more.
That's
Oh my
fine.
god,
got
I'm gonna
Snickers.
vomit.
So much,
We've got
so much sugar.
what is these
Let me
guys?
just take a sip of my Coke and then I'll
Yeah.
be ready.
Hershey's-
Let me just wash it down with
cookies
more
and
Coke.
cream. Fangs.
I have a appetite of a child.
He tells you to take a selfie with it too on the back. It's
Oh,
pretty,
really?
It's pretty millennial of him. So
Yeah.
you're supposed to do it like your teeth.
Oh, I want to do that.
I don't.
I have to say, oh wow,
Too bad this episode is in 3D.
I have to
God,
say
I
that
wish.
these I have tried already because.
Well, you're ruining the party.
And I very much like them. So it's essentially the cookies and cream Hershey's bars, but they just printed cute
these
little
are
things
like the white teeth that I want, but
with
didn't
black
get.
chunks of stuff stuck in
with
them.
my carne asada stuck in it.
I don't know if you can even see it on camera.
I'm so full of chocolate.
He just said those are lame. They're cute.
Well, it's cute, but they put the fangs like
It's like
all
a
the way on the
harmonica.
side,
Yeah.
so you can
That's not
barely
teeth.
even see
And those don't
them.
look like fangs. They look like
It's a fucking harmonica.
it does look like a harmonica.
Play the harmonica.
Oh. We're not very good at the harmonica.
Oh wait, that's not the harmonica.
Wait, which way does it go? Oh, I'm
I
making
mean,
a
that one's good.
It's really good though, because it's nice and crispy.
Alright,
How
go
you-
on to the next.
Hold
fine,
on,
Cameron.
Cut this down in the edit if it's too long.
No, that one just looks lame.
You look lame.
I just don't know if I
Your
like
mother
cookies
looks
and
lame.
cream.
We got
cheese
ding
and stuff.
dongs. We're having called Junior.
And now we got
mints.
some ding dongs.
And now back to our normal paid advertising. You got some ding dongs. I don't like these.
Have you? You don't even know.
I know. I don't like Junior mints. They
How
give
do you
me.
not like
Listen,
Junior
I
Mints?
fucking hate
Listen,
them.
they are spooky mints in pure chocolate, junior mints, limited edition with black and orange centers.
Get them now.
Tell your mother. I don't like them.
What?
It's like, why am I brushing my teeth with chocolate? You fucking kidding me? What do I look like?
You could
Wait,
have said that
Peppermint
better. I'm
pit patties? Fuck off.
I love a
I
peppermint
know.
patty.
Love peppermint patties.
The one thing I don't like is
Jesus. Couldn't pay me for
what's
that
the drink
shit.
at Disneyland that tastes like toothpaste?
mint julep.
Mint julep
I
to me
love
tastes like
mint
toothpaste.
juleps.
Fucking good.
Love
But
them.
we're gonna try the
I'm not
spooky
trying
mints.
it.
They make a. I know we're not
Ooh.
talking about Christmas right now, but they
Ooh.
make a Christmas version, which is like a spearmint, and they have like little things in it, and they're really
Just
good.
try one.
No.
For the
I'm
sake
so
of the
full
video.
shit right now.
Well,
I've been
there's more.
eating since 4 a.m.
Wait, some of them are black and some of them are orange.
Oh, in the middle?
yeah.
Well. Shit.
Oh,
you
I
get?
thought I got orange.
Okay.
Oh my
This
God.
this is our thing.
Oh, okay.
If you bite into one and it's
Black, you're gonna die. Orange, you're gonna find the love of your life.
I bet I'll get
Okay.
the orange one.
Orange! You did.
Wait, let me see me.
See, now you have to do it.
haha, see?
Oh, I don't like this game.
It's a made-up game. Nothing's really gonna happen. But those are delicious. I mean, it just tastes like
They're
a
just
regular junior mint, but
mints,
they're
like a little more fun.
yeah.
I don't like. That's disgusting. Tastes like turd.
I love them.
I mean, if
fucking
turds
mint-
taste like
mint
mint, now I
poops.
know why dogs eat their own shit.
Mint
They're like,
poop.
oh, and my breath will be good. Okay, so I think we've had everything except for. Last but not least, this is the one I'm most excited about.
These ones are
this,
evil.
This is zombie Skittles,
Oh,
and so most taste delicious, but Tom
But Tom tastes toasty.
but some taste like rotten zombie. Dare to
What
try?
does that taste like?
Yes, we do dare
It's
to
like
try.
the person that does the. I almost said Burt's Bees again. The Bean Boozled,
Belly
Bean
Jelly
Boozled.
Belly ones, and it's like this one tastes like vomit. It's like, okay, who's the person?
Skittles wouldn't
but
fuck
those
with us.
ones usually on like the Jelly Bellies, don't they show you which one? Oh no, because it could be
No,
any of the
'cause they have-
flavors.
they
We've done
make
this
the-
before,
No,
yeah.
It's
So
all
they look
nice.
the
It's
same.
all nice flavors, you guys. You're being silly.
So,
The shitty ones tossed in there. So
Most taste delicious, but some taste like
but
rotten
Tom
zombie.
tastes like rotten zombie. Does it say what the flavors are? I thought it did
I
on
think
here.
they're just trying to get you to shit your pants.
Chilling black cherry.
Oh, it does say it on there.
I
Oh, I ripped it off.
Blackberry, petrified citrus punch, mummified melon, blood red berry.
But any of those can also be the poop flavor.
Ashley never gets the bad.
She doesn't. She always.
You guys played that.
You know what's funny? You know what's fun is that you get the bad one. That's what you get. What does it taste like?
It tastes like armpit.
So
Wait, I think it's melon. I think that's what a melon tastes like.
no, it doesn't. A melon tastes like a melon.
You've never had fruit before?
No. See, she doesn't like
It
fruit.
tastes like spaghetti.
So you know what's weird to me is when we played the Jelly Belly game with, remember the little spinner thing, and you would always get the toothpaste one, and you liked it, but you don't like the toothpaste chocolate.
I'm a very, very multifaceted lady.
We're gonna do this on speed. Okay, that's berry. I'm just gonna spit them out
I'm
so
done.
I
I already
can
lost.
so we
don't
can
like
get
it.
to the gross. Because if I chew them, it's gonna take too long.
Is the nasty one really that bad? Nothing.
Tasted like vomit spaghetti.
Are you getting anything? That tastes like grape.
What the fuck?
Are
What
you
the
eating
fuck,
them?
Skittles?
I'm spitting them out because if I feel like I have to chew them all, I'm not gonna get the.
Every pack have the shitty on it.
How do they control
Blech.
it? That's it?
What the fuck is that?
Is it pink?
Ugh. It tastes like,
It's like spaghetti
Like
vomit.
rotten.
Yeah.
but like grape a little bit, but then rotten.
Yeah.
No? Are you safe? You can tell when it's I really like the melon flavor. Is that
I
orange?
think I got it. It kind of tastes like spaghetti.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, it's like spaghetti.
Weird.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is the melon.
Kobe.
The melon one is really good. If I
Yeah,
could
the
have
melon one's really
a
good.
package of melon, I'd be.
It was weird. It tasted like meatballs in like in spaghetti.
As I continue to.
Meatballs and spaghetti's pretty good.
And then it had like a
Yeah, that
weird
is a
taste
Skittle.
at the end that was like an aftertaste of
Rotten.
I'm just.
It's
I want to
weird.
get it again.
I'm not touching these. We're done.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I mean, I think I don't know if there's just only one bad one in the whole package, or you can maybe not get one at all. So, what was your favorite?
My gummies.
The gummies were
Taking
delicious.
those home with
Those
me.
are
Might
boring.
eat them in the morning.
That's boring.
Morning.
My favorite was the things, the cookies and cream.
They're cute, but I don't know if I like cookies and cream now that I'm discovering.
I
The
very
Snickers
much
was
like
not
them.
good. I would throw that straight in the trash.
It was so really just no nougat
I
makes
like
it
those.
garbage for you.
I don't know. There was something different. It smelled different. The whole palette was messed up. The Reese's was good. I like the
I like
The ghosts.
the
I like the
ghosts
ghosts a lot because they're very peanut
snacks
buttery.
that I cannot
Oh,
lie.
I forgot the last thing.
Oh my god, I can't fit anything more into me.
But this is just a fun one. You guys, hold on. Too many candies.
I love how you're putting them into the spit
Oh, we
bucket.
spit in there, huh? Oops.
Nice.
Okay,
I spit a
I
lot.
claimed a Fang one. You guys have to decide who gets this.
They vomited in that bucket.
Yeah. Well, they're still wrapped, so it's fine. Moral of the story, check your candy. So these are called lip pops, spooky lip
Oh my
pops.
god, they don't open.
no. You
They
do
have a
the-
little
they have
thing.
a little doodad.
Oh.
And it comes with a little man attached to it, and you take that little man off. And it's what do you call them? Ring pops? It's like a ring pop.
Oh my god. That's cool.
A little cool.
Ow!
Cool, colorful.
Bit me.
A little cool.
This is like triggering from my childhood.
That sounds disgusting.
It tastes really good, but these are cute. These are like pacifiers for adults.
Adult passies. Puff puff passy.
It feels like some weird like baby fetish thing.
It's very slurpy
Why do
sounding
I have fucked up teeth?
because
That's country.
I tried to get 3 fangs, but they only had 2. So I was like, someone's gonna have
Fuck me.
the messed up teeth. It's tasty, but I would not recommend doing this in public.
I would.
All right, Fiends, so that will do it for this episode of Let's Get Spooky. You can head over to letsgetspooky.com to watch and listen. I'm Leanna Vamp,
I'm AJ.
I'm Ashley.
and don't forget to stay spooky. Bye.
Oh, wait, we close-
Happy Halloween.